All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, kind of unsettling strategies from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. We're talking about Law 17, cultivating an air of unpredictability. And this is a big one. It doesn't just play on strategy, it taps directly into the core of how we all think. So, let me ask you a question, straight up. Are your actions an open book? Do the people around you, your colleagues, your friends, maybe even your rivals, do they pretty much know what you're going to do before you even do it? For most of us, if we're being real, the answer is probably yes. We're all creatures of habit, and that can become a serious, serious vulnerability. And here's why. At a basic level, human beings are creatures of habit. Our brains just crave patterns. It's a survival thing, right? When we can predict what someone's going to do, it feels safe. It doesn't take a lot of mental energy. So when you're predictable, you are literally handing people a sense of control over you. They can see your moves coming, they can prepare for them, and they can shut them down. So what's the counter move? Well, Greene proposes Law 17, and the full title is pretty intense. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Now, suspended terror sounds extreme, I get it. But it's not about actual fear. It's about creating the state of constant psychological doubt that keeps people on their toes, always a little off balance. This right here gets to the heart of it. It's not about just being random for the sake of being random. The whole idea is to act in a way that seems to have no purpose. Because what does that do? It forces other people to waste a ton of mental energy trying to figure you out, trying to decode your actions, while you're already 3 steps ahead. The book uses this perfect metaphor to explain it. The cyclone. You can't predict a cyclone's path. You have no idea what its speed is going to be or where it's going to turn next. And that's exactly why it creates so much confusion and fear. It just defies any known pattern. An unpredictable person, Greene argues, has a very similar, very destabilizing effect on everyone around them. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? Let's take a look at how some true masters of the craft have used this law to totally dominate. Our first case study is a guy named Filippo Visconti. He was the Duke of Milan way back in the 15th century. And he wasn't just a ruler. He was an absolute master of psychological warfare. His entire reign was built on making sure nobody ever truly knew what he was thinking. And this was his method. It was diabolically effective. I mean, just imagine being in his court. One day, you're the Duke's absolute favorite. You're thinking a huge promotion is coming your way. The very next day, he acts like you don't even exist. That kind of psychological whiplash kept everybody in a state of total confusion and anxiety. And you know what? It made it impossible for them to team up and plot against him. Okay, let's jump to a totally different arena, the battlefield. It's the spring of 1862, during the American Civil War. The Confederate General Stonewall Jackson is up against a massive Union army. He's hopelessly outnumbered, but he has one secret weapon: unpredictability. This is such a classic example of using this law when you're the underdog. Jackson's movements made zero sense to the Union generals. I mean, why would you march your troops away from Richmond, the city you're supposed to be protecting? The Union commanders were so baffled, so busy trying to come up with a rational explanation for what he was doing, that they just froze. And that tiny moment of hesitation was everything Jackson needed. And this quote from the man himself just perfectly illustrates his philosophy. Jackson knew that winning in the mind often comes before winning on the field. By mystifying his enemy, he literally paralyzed their ability to make a move, which made his smaller army a much, much bigger threat. But like with all of Greene's laws, this is where it gets really interesting, because there's a reversal. Sometimes the most unpredictable move you can possibly make is to be, well, completely predictable. It's a high-level feint, and when it works, it's devastating. And there is no better example of this than the legendary Rumble in the Jungle. Muhammad Ali was going up against the younger, stronger, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman. And everybody, and I mean everybody, knew exactly how Ali fought. For over 10 years, Ali had built this ironclad reputation: float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He danced. He used his incredible speed. So of course, George Foreman's entire training camp was built around one thing: cutting off the ring and trapping a fighter who moves. But then the bell rang, and Ali did the one thing nobody on planet Earth expected. He didn't dance. He leaned back on the ropes and just let the most powerful puncher in the world wear himself out. So let's just break this down because it's brilliant. Elite weaponized his own predictability. I mean, think about that. He spent years, a decade, building a pattern, lulling everyone into a false sense of certainty. And then, at the most critical moment possible, he completely shattered it. Now, there is a really critical word of caution here from Greene. This is not a license to just be erratic and chaotic all the time. If you overuse this, you can just come off as flaky, indecisive, or maybe even unstable. It's a powerful tool for sure, but you have to use it strategically, with a clear purpose. I love this quote from Picasso because I think it really gets at the art of this law. It's about getting to a place where your moves seem so spontaneous, so natural, that people can't even analyze them. It looks like you don't have a plan, but that is the plan. So this really forces us to look in the mirror at our own patterns. So ask yourself this: in your life, in your work, where is your predictability a weakness that other people can exploit? And more cleverly, like Ali showed us, when could that same predictability become your ultimate weapon in disguise? Thinking about that is the real key to mastering this law.